All right. Looks like we're going live.
We are live. Take it away, Christy.
Oh, thank you so much. Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome to this auspicious day, this fabulous, wonderful event. I just need to... Am I recording? I would like to record. Can I?
You can record.
Yeah.
I started recording a moment ago.
Okay.
So do you want to start all over again, or?
Yes, I want to know where I can do recording. I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't want to stop recording, but.
All right. So, well, you're already a co-host, so you can go ahead and record.
Okay. So I just have to find this.
Okay, and I'm going to stop my recording and start all over again when you're ready.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody, all of our attendees. It's great to see you. You get to get a little bit of the behind-the-scenes thing. We are live on Facebook now, too, by the way, and all those pages.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, and you're recording. Go ahead. All right. Technical things are not my strong suit, but anyway, I am here and available. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody showing up for this auspicious event. And I want to welcome and thank my co-host, Scott Catamas. So Scott, if you can share screen with me.
Sure.
Because, you know, you have been such a love and you are building such a phenomenal platform with the Global Peace Tribe. And I am so grateful and inspired both by what you and Debra Giusti are doing is unbelievable and pretty phenomenal. So thank you so much for your work that you're doing. And I'd like to take a little bit of time. I want to share screen here and be able to kind of help people to understand what it is that we're doing. And you're just going to have to bear with me on this tech thing because it's like such a wonderful challenge, right? As we learn how to do this and get ourselves in the place where we can have all this tech stuff handled. So give me 1 second here. Okay. Share screen. Got it. And we're ready to go. So everybody can see the slides now? Okay, great. So this day is the birth and the rise of the divine feminine, because as the new earth rises, we are here to celebrate also this sacred union, this balance between the sacred masculine and the divine feminine. So this is a really important thing because we've never really acknowledged the divine feminine before. So why would we want to acknowledge the divine feminine and her birth? Do we even know who she is, much less when she was born? I mean, here's some pictures of the divine feminine that are pretty suppressed. And that's what I found. This is Sophia. And she is one of the most suppressed of all the divine feminine emanations of God. Very few people know her story or what she's doing. She is the wisdom of God. And how is this possible that we could have the divine masculine and not have the wisdom of God present as well? It's so critical and important. She is painted on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, which is a scene of the beginning of creation. So do you see her where she is? Do you notice who she is? This is Sophia, and she's the one that God is hanging on to. So we light and honor the emanations of the Sophia, and there's many emanations of light of the Sophia. So I'm going to take my candle and I'm going to light it with the pink flame of love to bless this. We'll just take a moment to land in prayer as we realize that all the emanations of light, the Shekinah, the Sophia, Creator Mother Spirit, the Holy Spirit was a feminine light who descended into the crown chakra of Mother Mary. These are all feminine versions. And so we bless and welcome this light to this sacred circle today. Thank you. So, Mary Moss, which is what the Catholics call it, is actually a date set on September 8th. And it was a date that was arbitrarily picked because of Constantine. And but what about his beloved? Do we arbitrarily pick a date when she was born? Well, we've selected the eve of January 31st because St. Bridget was thought to have gathered the maidens to find suitors, and she is the patron saint of midwives and babies and children. So we felt it was really appropriate for us that we have this festival honoring the birth and the rise of the divine feminine to be held on this. So now I want to illuminate you as to who all is with us. So Scott, I'm going to ask you to introduce our special guest speakers and people that are joining us.
All righty. Well, first of all, welcome up again, everybody. Welcome everybody watching on Facebook, and I want to welcome all the people that are going to watch this recording. A lot of people watch that. So whether you're watching this live in the Zoom room, live on Facebook, or watching the recording a day from now or 10 years from now, welcome. And I do want to acknowledge the people that are putting this together. Of course, you've been hearing from Christy Michaels, and Christy puts a tremendous amount of time and energy and effort into these events, and she has just a tremendous love and heart. And thank you for all your work to really bring awareness to Mary Magdalene and to the rise of the divine feminine. I'm really happy that one of my absolute favorite human beings is with us, and that's Antoinette. Antoinette and I've gotten to know each other over the last 2 years, and she is a powerhouse. She's incredible. She's a dynamic musical force, a dynamic speaker, and just has a great heart and very passionate and very wise. I love your combination, Antoinette, of passion and wisdom. So thank you so much for being with us. And one of my oldest friends is with us. She's a great astrologer, and that's Karen Puma. And there's Karen, and she's going to do an astrological reading for us, so that's going to be fun. And of course, the mother of my company, if I'm the papa of Global Peace Tribe, the mama is Debra Giusti, and together we did 90 shows of Saturday Night Alive, just completed that at the end of December. And so welcome, Debra, and she's got a really special gift for everybody today. I also have two of my oldest and dearest friends, and that's Donny and Heather, whom I helped bring together. I always want to just get a little
Me
credit
too.
there. And they have formed such a beautiful and powerful union. And you're going to get to hear their musical offerings and their wisdom as well. And there's some new friends here. I want to introduce people that I don't know quite so well. These are friends of Christy's, but here's Darren. Anything you want to say about Darren, Christy?
Oh, Darren is an energy medicine healer. He was a doctor of acupuncture who then got into energy medicine and had such phenomenal results. And he is truly a sacred masculine who's been at my side helping me in so many ways. So thank you, Darren.
All right. And tell us a little bit about Dan.
And Dan Craig-Morse has been a pillar, a rock. He did a phenomenal sacred apology ritual, surprised me at one of my events. That is up on my website. And there wasn't a dry eye in the audience. He just really embodies the sacred masculine and apology and the energy of who and what we want in sacred masculine. So thank you, Dan, for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Beautiful. And tell us who this lovely lady is.
This is Aimée Lyndon-Adams, who is one of my new dearest friends, such a powerful consciousness leader and a true Ascension master, works with Ascended Masters and does phenomenal work. And she's been working with me on developing all my courses and everything. So I am so grateful to her. Mary Magdalene came to her and told her to work with me. So I thank you, Mary Magdalene. Yeah.
Or talk about friends in high places.
Yes,
Yes,
yes. It was quite a magical story, actually, but we'll tell that at another time. So thank you.
And here's Galia. Tell us about Galia.
And Galia is an old, dear priestess sister friend, and she is our fairy godmother for today. Because what Divine Feminine event? We have to have a fairy godmother, right? you can't do the Divine Feminine without a fairy godmother. So Galia has been involved in pagan rituals for years, and so she'll be talking a little bit more. She's going to sing one of the old chants that was done in the forest, in the circles with women. So
beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'm putting the spotlight back on you, Christy, to take us to the next step.
Yes, well, we're going to have the good fortune of one of your friends, Scott. Nina Grae is going to actually open us up with her fabulous song on Mother Mary. And the reason why we do that, and if I could just stop share screen here for just a second.
We're seeing you. We're not seeing share screen.
Yeah, it's coming up. Is it
okay,
nice? Okay. Oops. Oh, I said going the wrong way. Okay. I always begin every one of my sacred ceremonies with honoring the Black Madonna. And Nina Grae wrote an original song of Mother Mary. So let this song come into your heart and listen to the words very carefully, because it's such a wise truth that she speaks. Take it away, Scott.
Okie doke.
Mother Mary, do you care if we have a moment of your time? See, we built this new world, we forged this new way, but it seems we forgot about the light. We put profits over being good-hearted people, praising dollar signs and pipelines. Without water, how will we grow? Forgot that without love, life's a cold existence. But now we're waking up in the face of this resistance. So if you could spare some of your peace to our minds, we will receive it. Oh, we will receive it. Mother Mary, are you sure you don't care if we have one more minute of your time? We don't mean to be a bother, we just all look around at each other as we try to walk these very thin lines. Cause when we came, all we wanted was our freedom. Work hard towards something we believe in, and end our days giving praise to the sun. And even though we got a little off track, I got faith we can find our way back. You know we're ready for a new day and a new dawn. So if you could spare some of your peace to our minds, we will receive it. Oh, you know we will receive it. And na na na, and na na na, and na na na, and na na na.
Beautiful.
Isn't that fabulous? It's like, wow.
I love Nina Grae.
Nina, thank you so much for your generosity and letting us share this incredible song. It really speaks to the social justice aspect of the divine feminine and the beauty that needs to be returned and embodied in all of us. So this is the day where we want to vision what this new earth is, and we're rising in the new earth in the spirit of the Magdalene and the celebration of the birth and the rise. So we want to honor that there is a presence that was born onto this planet. She came in, she's here, she's been living in many of our hearts. Many of us have been channeling her. And so it's just such a great honor to change in this time and restore the lineage of the sacred feminine, and lend support for women and men to honor this sacred divine nature so that we may restore the balance of the equality of men and women. So to begin this, Galia Magdalena, I'm going to stop for a minute and share my screen here. She has, this is the lineage, by the way. You can see, I don't know, some of you know you may know the grandmother of Jesus, which is Saint Anne, but there's also the great grandmother, which is Saint Maria, and then there's Mother Mary, and then Jesus. So, and this is Mother Mary as a small child. And there's all kinds of wonderful stories about who she is, but she is in all cultures, this divine feminine emanation. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And so I've asked our fairy godmother, our priestess, Galia Magdalena, to come and sing the chant to us that really acknowledges that it is the divine feminine that changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. So let's spotlight Galia and bring her forward.
You screen share first. I've got to spotlight her first, and then you can go to screen share. Because right now the spotlight's on you. So, where are you, Galia?
Thank you for holding as we go through these tech challenges.
Okay, now you can screen share.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay.
This way you can see the words if you want to follow along with her. Oop, oh, sorry, wrong one. Wrong one. Okay.
Okay. Well, it's wonderful being here. Thank you, Christy, with all these illuminated souls. And I love the song that Christy asked me to sing. She changes everything she touches. We'll all be singing it together. Because it's so true. And everything in my life changed after I became ordained in 1999, and the divine feminine opened up my life to so many new opportunities and experiences, and led me to where I am right now at this moment today, surrounded by all these sweet souls. It doesn't get better than that. So the world needs the divine feminine now more than ever. We need balance. Sometimes I just want to take the world and rock her in my arms. And I know you do too. Maybe thanks to this little celebration, this little corner of the world will shine a little brighter. So she changes everything she touches. I'll sing the song first, so to acquaint you with not only the lyrics, which are up on the screen, but the melody and the rhythm as well. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. She is the weaver, we are the web. She is the needle, we are the thread. She is the weaver, we are the web. She is the needle, we are the thread. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. So as you sing this song with me, think about the changes in your own life. She touched you and you changed. It's quite a miraculous experience. So here we go. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. She is the weaver, we are the web. She is the needle, we are the thread. She is the weaver, we are the web. She is the needle, we are the thread. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. She is the weaver, we are the web. She is the needle, we are the thread. She is the weaver, we are the web. She is the needle, we are the thread. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. She is the weaver, we are the web. She is the needle, we are the thread. She is the weaver, we are the web. She is the needle, we are the thread. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes.
Thank you so much, Galia. So true, so true.
So true, so true.
Okay, thank you very much. Blessings.
Blessings.
So we're going to bring up now one of my other dear friends, Karen Puma. And Karen is going to do a brief talk about the astrology of this day. And then she has a new tarot deck which I was going to share with you so you can see the book cover of it. Let's see. Here we go. Awaken to Tarot, be your own guide. And of course, the reason why we include the tarot is because the tarot is one of the tools of the divine feminine. It's been a guide. So Karen, take it away. What is the astrology for today? Why is today so magical astrology-wise?
Thank you. Today is the dark of the moon. It's actually the new moon at 9:46. And so we're in the very end, totally at the doorway of this new moon in Aquarius. It's the Chinese New Year too, the water tiger. But this day with the sun conjunct Uranus, which is Uranus, this is the age of Aquarian. And this is what this means is the coming of Christ is a group event. And we are here to bring this knowledge down and to cleanse and heal ourselves. So it's a very potent, serious day, because not only is this new moon when the sun and the moon are together, it's a time of new beginnings. And this is the mystical aside, like we're just entering this time of setting intentions and groundingness. We have conjunct Saturn, and Saturn is the taskmaster. So we have to get serious, be practical, get grounded, really make it real in the physical world. And then we have to change because there's a square to Uranus. And what does that mean to change? Anything that's in the way of you being a divine light or an instrument of love needs to go. This is what we really need to commit to. And what another beautiful thing in the heavens right now is we have these, there's new dwarf planets, and Sedna is the outer limits of our universe, and she represents spiritual destiny. And she's conjunct Ceres, and Ceres is the emotional, social emotions, and Sedna's the spiritual emotions, and like the moon is the personal ones. But we have Sedna, North Node, which is practical destiny, and spiritual destiny. So we need to make our spiritual destiny practical and nurture it in a really grounded way. Taurus, they're all in Taurus. Make it physical, make it real. So this is all a powerful time. And the times right now have been really like we have the old and the new, and we're fighting between them. That was all last year. It's this year too. And so we're dealing with this, freedom controls issues, and we're dealing within ourselves. The outer world is a reflection of the inner. And so how are you controlling? How are you not allowing your own freedom to be, to express, to allow? And that is what a goddess is. A goddess is love, allowing. When you love and allow and accept what is, you are in the goddess. And when you open your heart and connect and find similarities, and it's a surrender, it's an openness. So there's so much Capricorn right now too, which is ground, practical. We have so much in earth. So we need to bring it into the physical world. It's just repeating the same themes are going on. And Saturn sits right at the descendant. So we need to come together and commit. And that's very important. And we have Venus, which has just gone direct. We have it trine Uranus, which is be creative, innovative, and relationships are the key right now. Life is relationships. So, and it's a moon in Cancer. And that is, again, the nurturing aspect of life. We need to nourish this. The moon is in Aquarius. It's a new moon in Aquarius, the new time. So what intentions are you setting right now? Apologize, I just read a chart. So here, this is the star card.
Hold it on with the other hand.
This is the star card.
No, other side. No, on the side. There you go. There you go.
Okay, this is the star card in my new tarot deck. And she is she's the broadcaster of truth. She allows the cosmic energy to come down, changing emotions into perceptions. She holds a gold cup and a silver cup, which are like breast or nourishing the truth of the gold and the soul energy of the silver, and brings this perception. This is the community. She represents that whole sense of community and bringing this truth and healing into the earth. Now,
this is Scott, if you could put me side by side with Karen, I'd love to have a little organic conversation with her.
Sure.
Yeah. So Karen, this card was the theme because, as the new earth is rising, what are women doing? We're the ones that are getting the downloads a lot of times about, the new cosmic information. So Karen, you want to pull a couple of other cards?
Okay, so this is random, completely random. we'll just say, what does this moment tell us? We've got some information from the cosmos. Now, what is this just to tell us? So I have no idea what card we're picking. So the first one is the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords has to do with clarity, right, communicate, bring it down to earth. The mind is a great tool. So we need to use our mind. This is the card. All aces are beginnings and excellence. So many of us are writers. We need to write. We need to express. This is really telling us, and communicate deeply what's deep inside. So that's a sword, mental energy.
Many women are finding their voices sometimes for the first time. And, I think of Kathleen McGowan, who started a publishing company called Flower Life Press, because the traditional masculine patriarchal publishing companies wanted her to change her writing, and she couldn't do that. The stories are come from her mystical experiences, and she can't, so she wants to have the freedom to express her voice. So go ahead, Karen, pull another card.
So speak up in your relationships, tell your truth, open your heart, and be truthful, and journal. Everybody should journal. Okay, so here's the second one. So this was the very first card that I ever made, and it's
other side. Go on the other side there.
Thank you. Okay, so this particular card is the Three of Cups, and it's again a Mercury. A Mercury card is communications. And another thing about this is getting in groups and communicating. This is communicating your feelings, your heartful, open up. It just, the themes are being expressed. Today we have Mercury conjunct Pluto. Pluto is death, rebirth. It's retrograde. It's going back and forth. This is the theme until mid-February, is to communicate, change your mind, the way you think. Beliefs are fixed thoughts. Let them go. What do you want to believe? So this is, and get with your friends and communicate your heartful energy.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Karen. I think, this is the mystery that the Divine Feminine uses, that we pull from the unknown. We pull from beyond the veil, and then we become informed. So it's perfect that the card spoke to community, right? Because that's what we're doing. And that we're raising our voices as feminine and saying, no, we are here too. So where is the presence of the Divine Feminine being birthed and risen up in equality status with the Divine Masculine? So thank you.
And the intuition is the feminine. So these tarot cards represents, archetypal magical helpers, and we can tune in to our own inner voice through these archetypes that are so powerful.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Karen. I really appreciate you joining us. And
Thank
Scott,
you.
I'm going to let you introduce our beautiful friends, Heather and Donny. Thank you.
Okay, Christy. Actually, according to the agenda, we were going to also take a moment just to acknowledge Karen's website. And Karen has been providing astrology services for our community for a long time. And so I really appreciate the dedication, the daily knowledge that you gain, and how you share it. And so if people want to know more about Karen, go to her website. It's soul-source.org. soul.source.org. And Karen, is there anything in particular you want to point out here?
Well, I'm a writer. I have a series of books called A Toolkit for Awakening. So I feel I'm more of a writer than an astrologer, even though
well, there we go. And look at all these books she's got. 9 different books: Awaken Female Power, Awaken to the Tarot, Awaken a New Myth, Awaken from the Ego, Awaken from the Pain Body, Awaken Magnetic Creation, Awaken the Sacred, Awaken Love, Awaken from the Mind. Karen, I did not know this part. It's been a while. These are beautiful.
Thank you.
So, and the books can be ordered directly from your website.
Well, 8 are done, but they're not, they're in the publishing process. and 11 are written, but
Wow.
it's a journey.
That is quite something you've given birth to. So very, very
Thank you.
beautiful. Yeah, thank you for your dedication. All right, I am putting the spotlight on my dear friends Heather and Donny, and they're coming to us from their beautiful retreat site in Maui, in Huelo, Maui, my favorite place on the planet. Welcome, Donny. Welcome, Heather.
Such an honor to be here with you all. Thank you. So we are going to share a song now called Keepers of the Garden, written by a dear friend of ours, Sophia Song Healer, who is an amazing songwriter. And Sophia said that she was a child during the time of Auschwitz and believed she got died in the internment camps and went to the Shekinahs, the heavens where the children go. And she said it was so beautiful and amazing, but they sent her right back with some incredible songs that are very healing for this time. And it is honor to share this with you. It's called Keepers of the Garden.
Yes, and I had the pleasure of recording her album with this song on it. So it's a dear song to me.
Thank you guys so much. I haven't heard that song in so many years. I'm really happy that you were able to join us. And they're going to come back because they are going to tell us in a little bit about the Black Temple, the Swan, the Temple of the Black Swan that they run and their beautiful retreats. So Thank you so much. Now I would love to introduce Aimée Lyndon-Adams, who is one of the most powerful teachers on the planet, works with Ascended Masters. She's a conscious leader. She used to be in the corporate world. And I don't know how you survived that because she was a top VP, really powerful woman. But now she's on our side working with the Divine Feminine. So thank you so much, Aimée. I can't wait to hear your message, which is an intriguing thing, untaming the Divine Feminine within.
Thank you so much, Christy, and such an absolute pleasure to be here with you all on such an auspicious day, and wonderful information, Karen. Thank you so much for setting the stage. Well, you know, over the past 2 years, in my work with my 12 Ascended Master Guides, who like to be called the wise beyond wise, I've been led to see how each of us has been programmed since birth by our parents, who were, of course, programmed by their parents. In other words, we've been told who we are by those who didn't know who they were. We've been taught what and how to think and believe, what to say and do, and what not to say and do. In other words, we've been taught how to fit in, not be a bother, and not to stand out. It began in childhood, reinforced by religion, education, big business, big pharma, big finance, and by all the forms of the media. Now, all of this programming was for the purpose of controlling us. If we disobeyed, we got punished. Love was often withheld, and we were often shamed or worse for our behavior. Eventually, we learned that it was safer to comply. Now, recently, a copy of Glennon Doyle's best-selling book, Untamed, got my attention. In the first few pages, she tells a story of taking her 2 kids to see a cheetah run at the zoo. I'd like to tell you that story now. So when they arrived, the zookeeper came along to the crowd leading a black Labrador by the leash. And she teased the children, asking them if this was the cheetah, and they all, of course, said, no. And then she said, no, you're right. But the cheetah was born in captivity, and this black Labrador has become the cheetah's best friend. She said, I want to show you something. And out of her pocket, she took a pink fluffy toy and threw it. And of course, the black lab chased it, fetched it, and brought it back. And the kids all cheered. Then she opened the cage of the cheetah. She threw the toy, and the cheetah ran for the toy, fetched it, and brought it back. And the kids all cheered. And Glennon is watching this unfold in front of her eyes, and she's thinking to herself, oh, why does this look familiar? Being trained to perform for applause. And then she caught sight of the cheetah looking particularly regal sitting by itself. And she imagined what it was thinking. And she was thinking it was saying to itself, I'm sure I was born for more than this. I'm sure I was born to run wild. Oh, but look at this black Labrador, my beautiful friend. And look at my zookeeper who brings me food, keeps my cage clean, keeps me safe. I should be grateful for what I do have and let go of my dreams. I have to confess that this story pierced my heart. All too familiar? Oh, yes. Born in England in a family with 3 boys and me the only girl, I was programmed with how to be a good child, a good daughter, a good girl child, a good student, a good employee, a good wife, and a good mother. I was taught to have no needs, that my needs were less important than my parents' needs and my brother's needs. I was taught not to trust myself, not to trust my feelings or intuition, not to trust my own body or to feel that I had sovereignty over my own body, and that our own reproductive systems must be controlled by lawmakers. As I entered into a man's world in business, I learned that our legal system stands behind a man, even when 20 or more women stand against him. I learned that the epitome of womanhood is to be selfless. Can you imagine? The epitome of womanhood is to lose yourself completely. Of course, if you think about it, this is the end goal of every patriarchal culture, to convince women to control themselves and each other. It's not only women that are born in cages, it's men too. They are programmed to label feminine qualities as weak and to deny their own feminine qualities, to man up. Living in misogyny, which is prejudice against women, is like breathing toxic air. But what would the world look like if we all unlocked, unleashed, and uncaged ourselves? Well, I promise you, I intend to find out. Here, meet my new totem for the year. This is my reminder to say no to caging the divine feminine, and instead to re-examine all that we've been taught about who we are and our roles in life, and to start honoring our essential natures. Let's stop judging ourselves and our brothers and sisters who dare to break out. Let's join them. Every time you say no to someone or something that is no longer in alignment with you, you strengthen the bonds of affection with yourself, and you avoid veering off of your own path and onto somebody else's. I'm just grateful that it's not how you start in life, it's how you finish. Thank you so much.
Oh, Aimée. Scott, put me side by side with her. I just have to send you some love. Whoa, that was very powerful, my dear. Such wisdom comes forth from your heart. And I am so glad to be working with you and so blessed with your generosity and your deep caring. Awesome. Thank you. That was
phenomenal. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Phenomenal talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what she spoke to was something that was buried and suppressed. But I recently heard on the news, amazingly, that one of the fastest growing groups are mystery schools. So the material that was no longer allowed to be made known is now being brought forth by women all across the country who are opening up mystery schools. So to give you an example and a taste of one, I asked Heather and Donny to talk to us about what it is, their Temple of the Black Swan. So please take it away.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking us to speak on this and our work, and we're going to show another little example of our work in the form of one of a video that we've been working on. You know, there are a lot of divine feminine, women's sacred work popping up all over the place.
Oops. You just froze.
Yep, they both froze. You know what? Maybe we should play their video while they get back on. Why don't we do that?
Yeah. And I can speak to it a little bit because I was blown away when I saw it. But Heather has been involved with the Isis temple up in Geyserville. And there is Lady Lauren, who started the school, a temple divided. It's a replica of the Isis temple in Egypt, and she is put together the 42 ideals of Ma'at, the goddess Ma'at, and it really gives you a flavor of the basically the beautiful tenets that the goddess holds and how to be in the world from the goddess point of view, the ideals that the goddess wants. So great. Thank you, Scott.
All right, so absolutely. And give me a moment because I had it in a different spot. Okay, here we go.
It's isisoasis.org if you want to know more.
Yeah, no, I've already got it downloaded.
Ma'at, O great Kemetic goddess of truth, justice, cosmic balance, and harmony. We petition you now to restore order from chaos upon the earth. Bring peace to the minds and hearts of all sentient beings. I honor virtue. I benefit with gratitude. I am peaceful. I respect the property of others. I affirm that all life is sacred. I give offerings. I live in truth. I regard all altars with respect. I am sincere. I consume only my fair share. I have only good intentions. I relate in peace. I honor all creatures with reverence. I can be trusted. I care for the earth. I keep my own counsel. I speak positively of others. I am balanced in my emotions. I am honest in my relations. I aspire to higher consciousness. I spread joy. I do the best I can. I communicate with compassion. I listen to opposing opinions. I create harmony. I invoke laughter. I am open to love in various forms. I am forgiving. I am kind. I am respectful of others. I release all judgment. I follow my inner guidance. I converse with awareness. I do good. I give blessings. I keep the waters pure. I am optimistic. I praise the goddess and the god. I am humble. I achieve with integrity. I advance through my own abilities. I embrace the awe. That's it.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I don't know what happened. We got popped off. So that's kind of a rough cut of our latest video that we are working on. And still some things to dial in there. But that was the...
You know, life didn't cooperate. We had a workshop and a remodel, and tomorrow's the first, and unfortunately...
it was beautiful.
Thank you, Christy.
Oh,
We had first created that video, one layer of that video about 10 years ago when as ordained through the Temple of Isis, and then we created another version last year and then layer, and then we were here on Maui, so part of that is shot up at the top of Haleakala, which is home of the sun, and Ma'at is a solar goddess, and part of that was just shot in Mexico in Maya land at Chichen Itza. And when we were at Chichen Itza, Maria, who is our amazing friend and photographer and Spanish, happened to be there. And she's like, I'm going to meet you there. I'll shoot something. So we were like on the winter solstice, the morning of winter solstice, we went and meditated. And I asked the pyramid, I asked the land, is there any messages? I felt like there was some sort of, that there was a mudra that wanted to come through. And so I get up, and she's there, Maria's there, and she's shooting some video, and I'm doing this mudra, like this, 3 times crossing, and down. And then our guide invited, he's like, well, that was very interesting. I'm like, what? He's like, you just channeled what is at the center, the hieroglyph at the center of the pyramid of Chichen Itza. So it's a lotus flower that opens, with these 2 snakes that come out that go like this, up. And he's like, I would like to invite you to somewhere that nobody really ever gets invited to, and this sacred temple that is owned by the Mayans, and only people who speak Mayan are supposed to go there, but I feel like we're supposed to take you there, and you can shoot whatever you like. So he took us to this the Temple of the Guardians and the Temple of Orion, where the Mayans believed that the earth was created from. And they're like, here you go.
We were the only ones there.
We were the only ones there, and so we shot a lot of like up on the pyramid and the observatory and the peak of the mountain. So anyways, I know, it's incredible how this all came through. But this is kind of the work of our mystery school, a good example of it.
yes. Definitely.
Yeah, we teach about, as I was sharing, I'm an Essene minister and a priestess of the Temple of Isis, and the Essenes, our path is to bring forth the 7-fold path of peace. Peace with the body, the mind, your relationships, the Aina, the earth, the spirit, and your sacred service. And of course, the goddess brings forth the magic, the music, the dance, the mystery, and through the transformation. So our work is really this beautiful marriage, and we, teach people how to embody their own truth, how to unlock their own intuition, how to work with their dreams, how to work with communication, and find your sacred path.
Right.
And
So Scott, can you bring Antoinette? She had a question. Raise her hand.
Yes, Antoinette.
Yeah. All right.
Is there a really bad problem?
Yeah, you have a sound problem. You have to turn your sound down from your end.
Us?
Yes.
That's
When
what the
other people talk, you get a bad echo.
yeah.
Oh,
You have to turn your volume so you're listening.
yeah, I can work on that.
Oh, okay. Turn the sound down because he was saying it wasn't loud enough. How about now?
No, I mean, it's the sound we're listening. Can we hear you now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Your
better.
coming back sound that's back and forth. Yeah.
And Antoinette, I just want to mention that the reason I'm familiar with your work and your husband's work is because Doobie Logic, who's I think a common friend, was ordained in our mystery school, and he is such a divine soul. I mean, such an incredible talent, who I think you'll agree.
This is crazy. I was just looking at your site, and we're gonna have to come and see you. I said this is exactly what we're talking about.
Oh,
It's
we'd be
beautiful.
honored.
You gotta send me that video because everything that you said in the video, I've heard those words before. And it's just weird because I was sitting there and it really, really spoke to me. And I'm not a kind of person who's much into the channeling of different, I'll just be honest, but those words really spoke to me. And the video was really amazing. And I looked at your website and it's really amazing. It's really in alignment with what we're doing. And Doobie, that's my boy, man. That's my boy from
So Scott, maybe you can bring up their website.
Awesome.
Scott, can you bring up their website?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Pato call you guys, and we're gonna get this for you.
Oh, I would love to. Yeah, I'm a big fan of you guys.
We're coming to Hawaii.
Great. Yeah, so here's our website, and we do ongoing retreats here. We do about 2 retreats a month, 6-day retreats at our temple, and also on our website, as you'll find, we did another film last year, the year before during COVID, which has won a lot of awards, and we have an online mystery school. Yeah, this is our film that you might want to check out. It's longer. It's about 23 minutes, but it's a meditation, and it's got a lot of recognition as an experimental short film. So we're bringing kind of new ideas to the media. New ways of healing.
That's great. Scott,
Where was that in Mexico that you guys went then? That's what I wanted to ask you.
Oh, so we were in Chichen Itza, which is near a few hours from Cancun. So it's considered Maya land, the Maya Riviera. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going.
Scott, can you bring me up on the screen with her?
I'm sorry, it's really hard to hear you because of the echo. What, Christy?
Can you bring me up on the screen with them?
Yes.
And you too.
If you want to get rid of the feedback, mute your mic while somebody else is talking. Heather.
So I just want to thank you guys. And they have a beautiful, Scott's been there as well, a beautiful retreat center it's on east side of Maui. Just lush and tropical, gorgeous, with lots of influence from Bali. And you have the yoga in the hanging yoga. Tell us about that, Heather, your hanging yoga, because that's really fun.
Yeah, so our retreats, we do yoga and aerial yoga play, it's called, and sound healing. So it's an integrated journey, and we offer a plant-based diet and personal sessions, healing sessions, and coaching sessions. But the yoga swings are so fun. They're really designed to help us bring back that inner child, that sense of play, and they help us to kind of go beyond ourselves, beyond ideas of lack and limitation. We like to say people from 3 to 90, have been in our swings. My mom's 90, and she's like doing inversions and swinging around, and so it helps you go beyond yourself in a really safe, fun way.
I asked her, when was the last time you were upside down? And she says, 70 years.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful retreat center, and I've stayed there, and it's fabulous. So I encourage people to check it out and make it a part of your trip to Maui.
Yeah, let us know. We're all we've got a schedule, so we're pretty booked for the next 3 months, but into that, so book ahead with us.
Yeah.
And we're going to Egypt again in September.
Squeezing in the
So
end
we're
of
doing.
this month.
Well, and we have 2 weeks off every month, so we'd love you. You know, you can always stop by, say hi. We've got a beautiful spa.
I'm coming.
Yeah,
I'm coming
we'd
to
love
heal.
to say hi, play some music. I love reggae music. Played a lot with Doobie, actually, you know.
Yeah.
So, and he's
So,
such a blessed soul.
thank you so much, you guys, for sharing your wonderful story. I would love to keep going on and on.
Yeah.
It's all good, Christy.
But-
We love you.
Thank you. I love you too very much.
Yeah, and I miss doing ceremony with you. I promise.
Yeah, really. We got to keep doing
We're
some
due.
more. We're due. We are
I've
due.
been watching your
Yeah.
work.
So Scott, you have. I want to introduce Debra Giusti. Debra Giusti is my sister in Ascension work. I watched her put 90 shows on with the Saturday Night Alive. Oh my God, Debra. My hat's off to you. You did such phenomenal work and so professional and so fantastic. And Debra is the founder of Harmony Festival, for those of you that don't know, that used to have an annual attendance of 30,000 people. And then she developed, when COVID hit, she developed the Saturday Night Alive, the Global Peace Drive with Scott Catamas, and they did 90 shows. And she's really the queen of the transformation. She has her website, Debra recommends. Go and sign up to receive information about it, because she's got her finger and pulse on every transformative leader. And she's also, because her own inner passion is the path of the Ascension, Priestess path, I thought, oh my God, Debra, I got to have you on to talk about what's so near and dear to your heart. And she has probably worked with every top national Ascension teacher on the planet. Plus, you know, she's been the moderator of panels of Ascension and all the Conscious Life Expos and things like this. So she knows more than anybody. She holds the codes, the embodied sense of what is happening with Ascension on this planet. So I wanted you to speak from your heart about what is near and dear to your heart and your own path as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. And hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you on this incredible program that honors the healing, the power, and the importance of the divine feminine for us all in these radical times that we're in. I want to thank Christy for keeping the flame of the divine feminine alive consistently and passionately for so many years. And I want to thank you all for being here, because that means you support the emergence of the divine feminine now. She's coming back through all of us, and this is really important during this evolutionary shift. So yeah, as Christy said, I'm going to share with you about the topic of Ascension, which is one of my greatest passions. And I would claim that I've always been having this passion, even though I didn't know. I've been a spiritual seeker since I was a teenager, but really the mission and the understanding of Ascension emerged for me at 2012, as a lot of things on our planet and culture shifted at that potent time. And 5 years before that, I was personally coming out of a major dark night of the soul that lasted for 5 years, where everything that was important to me was lost. My marriage ended. I lost all the money I had made in that lifetime, which was about $1 million. And my life's work, which was producing the Harmony Festival, ended unexpectedly and tragically. And I know a lot of other light workers at that time who also lost everything that was important to them at that time. So this seems to be a time of karmic clearing and a huge teaching for all of us to learn that to be connected with spirit as the primary source was really what was most important now, rather than anything external that we thought was important. So at that time, there was lots of new awarenesses that were downloaded to me, which include the understanding of the shift of 5D consciousness, into 5D consciousness, understanding our very important relationship with our galactic families and their role in the ascension, and also how to manifest without being dependent on money, because I had no money. And also very important that I came here for this very specific time on the planet for my personal ascension and also to support humanity, especially in these very evolutionary times in ascension. So we can all agree now these are radical and unprecedented times, but I claim these are highly evolutionary times, and we are going through the birth canal. I see humanity now as going through a collective dark night of the soul. And this is helping the whole humanity go towards its ascension. The dark night of the soul can typically be a time, can be a huge catalyst for an evolutionary growth, because you can see personally in your life that we're all collectively challenged. So it feels like we're all going through this process together. And it's during these dark nights where the rubber meets the road. In these cycles, you can see the dysfunction that of what is not working, what is not of the higher path that we're evolving to, and it comes up to be healed and revealed. And this is happening in our collective, and I'm sure you can witness it in your life as you go through this evolutionary path, that what is dysfunctional comes in your face to be dealt with, so you can do the shadow work, you can clear your relationships and heal and move forward to a higher path. And so that's what's happening now collectively, because we are going through a planetary ascension. This is not just us, this is the whole planetary that's going into another sector of the universe, and everything is being uplifted. So that's why everything that is not of the higher level that we are going to is coming up to the surface to be dealt with. And so this is an up-leveling that we're all going through. And we're also getting huge help from the universe to go through this ascension path, because this is happening on all levels. And this means from our star families, from our ascended master alignment, and many, many other ways, getting downloads, energetic downloads that are coming through right now. So I want to point out that these times are very similar to other evolutionary times in the planet, like Lemuria, like Atlantis, like Egypt, where there's a lot of opportunity for spiritual growth. And a lot of us were probably together there in those times, this soul tribe that is here connected now. And yes, we all came here for this very amazing opportunity and this evolutionary cycle that we are in now. We said yes, and this is now showtime. But not all of humanity is up for the ascension that the planets go through. We all do have choice. And as many of you have probably heard about timeline splits and other realities that accommodates those choices, and that's a whole other topic. But the most important thing is, what is your choice to do at this highly evolutionary time? And I also want to point out that the year 2022 is also a very important year for the ascension. It's under the influence of 222. And so in numerology, 2 represents the mother energy of essence. It represents caring, relationships, nurturing, partnerships, and cooperation. So 222 awakens the feminine power within us all to open and be receptive to this new paradigm. And it's not replacing the dominant patriarch, but instead it weaves and blends the masculine and the feminine energy in a cohesive harmony of union and collaboration. And we can really love that and see that now as it's happening through us. So I think it's really appropriate that I give this talk on ascension at this potent divine feminine program, as we honor so many divine feminine teachings and the divine feminine master teachers that have ascended and lead the way, like our beloveds Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Sophia, and so many others. So in this transmission, I want to give this talk on ascension, and talk about your ascension, because obviously this is why you showed up and why you're here. And let me share what I mean about ascension, because a lot of times people will kind of relate to the Christian interpretation of ascension, which is where in current modern day Christian story, it's when at death you ascend into the higher realms, which is definitely a valid interpretation of ascension. But what is the opportunity right now, and what's happening right now here is going through an embodied ascension. And I've, like Christy said, I've studied with the top teachers and many other ascension teachers, and they all give this kind of information. So also what I'm going to share with you today, to make it simple, because we're all going through this together and we all have different paths and different ways that we go through it. And many of the religions talk so clearly about the ascension path in their own way. But for our day and our time and what we're all going through, I created a booklet called The Ascension Tips. And they're actually 45 tips that show you the ascension process that we're all going through and what's ahead for us to go through. So I'm going to be sharing that with you now. And I created that with one of my ascension teachers, Meg Benedicte. And so I'm going to start out, and that's the cover of my Ascension Tips books. And I'm going to give you a link to that so you can download that at the end of my presentation. So you have all this information that you can look at previously. So first of all, I'm going to give you a definition of ascension so we can all be on the same page of what we're talking about. So this is the definition that me and Meg came up with. So ascension is the accelerated spiritual process that is currently taking place with all planetary life forms during this cosmic evolutionary cycle. And it's a step-by-step process that is initiated with spiritual awakening. That is the beginning of it, the awakening. And then it is accomplished by an ongoing up-leveling into the higher dimensions and quantum consciousness reality. So through gradual clearing and healing of the dense trauma, ancestral patterning, and through the activation of the light body and DNA activation, we evolve into higher fifth dimensional frequencies. We get clear connection with our higher self and with deep soul embodiment, and we live and manifest in a state of oneness. Sound good? So that's the ultimate goal, of which on many levels we can achieve in this lifetime, just like many teachers and sages and gurus that we all aspire to have achieved in their lifetime. So I'm going to go ahead and go through some of the ascension tips now. I'm not going to be able to go through all of it, but I'll start with it and then I'll give you the link so that you can go through it. And this is just so that we can understand this process that we're all going through right now and how it relates. So the ascension tips have 3 sections. So the first is the awakening, and that's when we just wake up to our spiritual calling. And that brings up a lot of changes in our life. The second one is transmutation. And this is where we start to go through the alchemical transformations in our lives. Our lives change, our body changes, our awareness changes. And the third is embodiment, where we go through complete soul embodiment of the ascension process. And then the fourth, which I haven't written in the tips yet, is when you become the divine human, and that you then assist the planetary ascension. So I'll go through some of these and then I'll give you the link so that you can check it out for yourself. So the awakening, I'm assuming most people are in this process and have been in this process. And this is where, number one, from the core of you being, you cultivate a deep commitment to your spiritual evolution and soul purpose in all areas of your life. And number two, it's important to embrace your own personal, unique journey, because all journeys are different and they all lead to a similar place, and they develop, and it's important for you to develop an inner understanding of ascension that works for you. And number 3, very important, be prepared for a complete transformation in your life. Your life's going to be overhauled. Your relationships will change. What you currently, your goals that you had, that's all going to change. And this allows for a soul empowerment of divine power and grace to be moved through you. Number 4, become aware that you are a multi-dimensional being and you realize everything is energy and you are connected to everything through energy. Number 5, and I'm sure most of you have acknowledged this, the importance of getting grounded and pranic breathing to allow life force and life energy into your body, your light bodies at all times. Number 5, connect with nature on a regular basis, knowing that nature is a source, that you can connect with spirit, you can receive messages and connection and healing by being out in nature on a regular basis. Number 7, have ongoing daily meditation and spiritual practice. I know at 2012, I got the message that meditation was not something I could start and then stop and then start. It was an ongoing spiritual practice. And since then, I meditate every day. Number 8, we've all heard this, but this is so important. Consistently take steps that raise your vibration in every thought, action, and deed. And this includes the energy you exchange with people, the food you eat, the thoughts you think, the actions you choose, the people you interact with. But as you consistently raise your vibration, that is a key to the ascension process. And number 9, appreciation. Learn to fully accept and appreciate everything that happens in your life. All that you interpret as good and bad on all levels. Everything is your teacher. Everything is your gift guiding your ascension journey. Number 10, get professional coaching, get teachers, get people that are farther along the path and training on your journey, such as working with an ascension guide, a spiritual healer, coaches, acupuncturists, all those can be really important. Number 11, this is really great. Observe and utilize all the signs of synchronicity that will appear in your life because they will facilitate your development of your ascension. Synchronicities, tuning in, all of that starts to show up more and more as you're on the spiritual path. I'm sure you've all experienced that and are aware of that. Number 12, consistently embrace life with complete acceptance and unconditional love. Everything happens for a reason. Embrace all of it with loving understanding. And number 13, the importance of developing and sustaining self-love. That is so important in allowing the ascension process to continue to activate for you is the self-love of your divine love self. Number 14, live enthusiasm for deep ascension in your state of being, but don't try to convert people, be it instead of try to convert people to it. And this is also really important. Number 15, develop strong ongoing connections with ascension teachers and ascended master guides. The ascended masters are here to help us with the ascension process. And if you tune in and if you ask for the teachings, for the sharings, for the support, they are here to help. Very important. And so that was the first 15, which is the awakening. And I'll give you a few of the next ones, which is transmutation, when you really start to go through the alchemical transformation in your life. And this is where you start to focus on enhancing your physical body, but also your energy body towards optimum health, optimum functioning. Do everything you can to raise your energy quotient and your health to the highest level. And number 2, learn to master your energy, master your thoughts, your emotions, your flow of energy, because everything is energy. And become aware of containing and protecting your energy field with healthy boundaries and protect yourself. Have a lot of due diligence. Another part that comes into it is dismantling the ego's victim mentality and control of your life. Clear all the victim programming and belief systems where the ego believes it's in charge, and you start to tune into source and allow source and your higher self to be in charge of your life. Also develop discernment, because you need to strengthen your ability to sense and feel and what matches and resonates with the soul truth and purpose. And also very important, what happens, and I'm sure this is all happening to a lot of you now, is really developing your intuition and start to work from your intuition and empathy skills, because this is what really comes online and starts to function in the multidimensional realms and in the higher dimension. And also really important, do your shadow work. You can't bounce up to the higher frequencies unless you've dealt with your trauma, dealt with your core wounds, dealt with your core healing, and allow that to clear, and ancestral healing, all of that, which I know a lot of us are focused on. And that is part of the ascension process, to clear that and move forward. Be willing to become aware of, heal, and evolve your core beliefs to the highest level. Also connect and heal with your inner child. A lot of us have done this work. This is all part of being able to function at higher levels. Work on clearing outstanding karma and completing soul contracts. And also really important, tune in and utilize the solar and galactic energy transmissions. I myself in my meditation receives so much energy transmissions. So if you open up to it, you will receive transmissions that are being released now to activate your light body and your healing. And become an aware and align with your soul family. This is what we're doing here tonight, is connecting with and bringing in the soul family that aligns with the divine feminine, so we can teach each other, we can support each other and heal each other and move forward. And this goes on and on. I've got another 15 in the embodiment phase, which is where your alchemical starts to really work. And this is where you start to work with your light body more consciously. You start to work with your kundalini. You start to work with your DNA activations. You really fine tune major manifestation abilities, because that's all part of the ascension process, learning how to manifest immediately. And I know all of you are starting to work on that, and learning how to experience and function in your Merkaba, which is your light body, and learning how to live consistently in the higher 5D consciousness, which is unity consciousness and is the unified field of love, and much, much more. So I'm going to give you now, so I'm going to stop at this point because I want to honor everyone else's time. But I'm going to give, Scott's going to show you the link to the website where you can get the Ascension tips. That is just the reminders of what you're probably doing on your path, but then also what can happen going forward when you really take this on and work on evolving. This is myself and Meg who wrote these Ascension tips, and I will post in the chat room. You can go to the website and you can just download them as a gift. So
it's important for people to know the website is ascensionnow.org. Ascensionnow.org. And then I guess once you go to the main page, you click here and put in your name and email address, and that's how you're going to subscribe and get the free book.
And just so you know, this is my passion. And I do Ascension panels. I'm going to do one on Portal to Ascension coming up in April. If you're on my e-list, you'll get all that. If you sign up for Ascension tips, I'll let you know about all the Ascension workshops. And I'm really inspired to share these incredible Ascension teachers that I've come up upon. If this resonates with you and you want to know more about all these other ways that clarify how to be on your ascension path and how to really take advantage of these amazing times that we're in, that we all came to, because we can increase our evolutionary reality and experience together, like we did in Egypt, in Lemuria, and Atlantis, when we were all there activating to the next level. So thank you so much, Christy, for this opportunity. Love you all, and blessings.
Oh, thank you, Debra. Everything that you said is so rich and so packed with so much wisdom and history. I mean, each one was a jewel. And I know you work it, because you are the living embodied demonstration of it. And that's what the joy of it is. It's not about proselytizing. It's about us learning how to be this empowered self so we can actually have heaven on earth. And heaven on earth means heaven on earth, not heaven in the heavens. It means right here and right now that we're going to have fun. We can have a wholehearted, open-hearted way of being. And Debra, you are the pinnacle queen of this. So your dedication, I honor you. I worship you as a goddess that you are. Thank you so much, Debra.
Thank you. We came here to create.
Antoinette on. I know she has a question for you before we go on. Can you quickly?
Okay.
Antoinette, Scott, can you bring her?
Yes, I had no idea, Debra.
See?
I was sitting here. No, I was sitting here listening, and this is the weirdest thing again. So something somebody else said earlier, and I said, I heard this before. So the weird thing, when you started to go through the numbers, and I was sitting there and I wanted to ask you, where did you get this from? Because I heard this before too. And I heard them, but not all in one list like that. I started hearing these things in different places on different things. And it was really weird and kind of freaky, because when you started talking about the nature and the grounding and stuff like that. So I've been sitting here like testing out these like weird medical devices I've got for my treatments and stuff, and trying to learn out how to use them, because I don't know. And when you're trying to go alternative and holistic and everything else, it's a lot of information that I'm trying to find out very quickly. So I'm trying to get the scientific aspect of following the science. And in the scientific video on YouTube, they said, you have lost the grounding. You've lost the grounding. This is what's happening with everybody, with the 5G and with the toxins and with all these different things and why you need the magnetic whatever. But he said, basically, you have to just go back out there and have your feet on the ground, just have your feet touch the ground. And we was out there laying, and Potts was laying on the ground. And I said, oh my God, look at how many people can't just go walk around in the daytime and just go lay down on the ground on the grass. And doing something like that, how much of it changes everything. All those little tips, I've just been hearing them in little weird places, maybe a YouTube video, maybe something somebody said, maybe something somebody mentioned, maybe not all in one thing but it's all pertaining to my own healing, which I didn't even put the two together, because I came here for the mother spirit, but I didn't put the two together of the awakening and the mother. But I did understand an awakening and the mother. I just didn't understand it at this point in time.
Well, I tell you, Debra is the master at the ascension process, and I work with her on a regular basis, and she is such a queen of integrity.
I want to say that your higher self is your master of your ascension process, because your higher self is bringing you all these bits of information so you can remember what you know, because we all know this, because we've been around. We're just waking up, we're just remembering. I mean, for me, I look at my phone, and YouTube is one of my greatest teachers. It gives me messages that I'm supposed to know the next day. So your teachers are all around you, and it's in your life, and it's on your path. And we are so blessed right now. We just need to be open up and receive and follow through and walk through the doors of synchronicity that we're being given right now. This is a highly activated time. So
well, I knew it was really important to bring you on, Debra, and thank you for sharing from your heart. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So now we're going to go to the sacred masculine, because what's the feminine without the masculine, right? And I would love to introduce one of my dear friends, Dan Craig-Morse, and Dan is a marriage and family therapist who at a very, very young age had direct contact or mystical contact with the Sophia. And he became very passionate about it. And he has done such a deep dive into the wisdom of Sophia and the ancient texts. Like, these are not easy reads. And trying to track these fragmented parchments that we have and what do they mean. This man has done a brilliant job evolving our understanding of who the Sophia is. And he has been such an outstanding demonstration of the sacred masculine. I just had to have you on, Dan, to speak to whatever your heartfelt desire is to speak. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christy. It's really, really a pleasure to be here, an honor to be here. And also to follow in the tales of Debra, Giusti. It was wonderful to hear all of the Ascension tips and to kind of have traveled a path intersecting with Debra since 2012, which is when I had a big shift in my life. And then seeing Debra kind of own her voice as she kicks into this higher gear. Just what you shared, Debra, is so clear and seems to be such a like culmination of a long process that you've been in that I've had the honor to witness. And we've shared a lot of this together. But it's true, I have been more kind of rooted in the esoteric tradition, particularly the Gnostic, tradition, the Gnostic system and the texts. I'll speak to that, but at first I really wanted to just acknowledge, okay, I'm a guy, I'm here. This is all about the divine feminine. And so I just want to kind of bow to that. I just, it feels very important for men to kind of acknowledge that the feminine is coming back and it has been suppressed for way too long. And so if we can, sort of like be accountable to our shadow material and our egoic, privilege, that's something we can do to help this. In looking at the masculine as the counterbalance to the feminine, which is really important. How can the masculine show up in a way that meets the feminine with centeredness, clarity, presence, so that the feminine can do its thing. So there is kind of the archetype of the masculine. There is really a positive pole. There's the sacred masculine, with all of that represents, with the virility and the power and the ability to kind of hold space. But then there's also the shadow masculine. And this is something which I think has really been running rampant, and it's kind of gone unchecked in many ways. And it's been the cause of a tremendous amount of distress. Excuse me. And in politics, finances, our history, it's festering only as we are able to ignore it. And so this is something that we really are being called to do right now, is to call out the shadow masculine and to say enough of the abuse, enough of the exploitation, not only of women, but of the planet, Gaia, our mother, our home. And it's amazing. We have Greta Thunberg, who is this young, woman who is one of the most brilliant voices of, come on, it's home. We're ruining our home. We got to stop this. So, I'd like to just sort of step back and turn to the depth wisdom traditions where the divine feminine runs like mycelia through the undercurrents and the underground streams of our culture and our psyches. And I'd like to pay tribute to a most phenomenal woman who recently passed about a month ago, Rosamond Miller, a priestess of the Gnostic Church in South Bay, one of the most esteemed carriers of this sacred divine feminine tradition of Mary Magdalene and of Sophia. And for decades, she held these Eucharist ceremonies, and it's incredibly powerful. The energy was definitely suppressed in the very early phases of the rise of Christianity, and it was pushed underground, and it is so powerful. And it's largely been lurking underground, but it is coming up. And so she would do these Eucharist ceremonies, and she would call them the bridal chamber. And the bridal chamber is a sacred ritual that was referred to in the Gnostic texts, Philip, and it's looking at, or it's invoking, the marriage of the sacred masculine and the divine feminine, particularly with the Christ and his, not only his consort or his sort of feminine counterpart, Mary Magdalene, but his counterpart in the celestial realm known as Sophia. And Sophia shows up in this tradition that it's very difficult to really kind of excavate what is going on with this. I've been just doing a deep dive into it for many years. My book is almost completed, and that really goes into quite at length of who Sophia is and who the deep Christ was, who was showing up in first century, who helped to deliver the sacred mysteries of Sophia. And so to kind of distill it down to a basic essential theme is that Sophia, like the Shekhinah of the Kabbalah, is the deep light that is in us, in the very fabric of our being. This is the divine spark that is within us. This is the planting of the Sophianic seed within humanity that has been suppressed by various forces that absolutely do not want us to remember this and to have access to it. They can't take it away from us, but they can, like the caged cheetah that Aimée was talking about, they can make us forget about it and have ourselves keep ourselves in our own cage. So the masculine counterpart to this Sophia inner spark is really very similar to what Debra was talking about with the Ascension tips. It is chill the mind out, calm the ego down, set aside the grind and the chatter of thought, to open the heart to being present, to being, it's a perception, it's an open perception, so that when our frequency comes to that place where it's almost like a door opens and the light appears, the Holy Sophianic Shekhinah light can move through us. So this is the sacred marriage, and this is the Eucharist ceremony of the Sophianic and the Christos. And I'll just leave you with, the Sophia runs through the Christian and the Jewish Kabbalah, and also in the Islamic Sufi traditions. And Ibn Arabi had a revelation of Sophia, and this is her voice that he spoke and wrote in his Book of Theophanies. This is Sophia. This is the deep spark within us. Dearly beloved, I have called you so often, and you have not heard me. I have shown myself to you so often, and you have not seen me. I have made myself fragrance so often, and you have not smelled me. Savorous food, and you have not tasted me. Why can you not reach me through the object you touch, or breathe me through the sweet perfumes? Why do you not see me? Why do you not hear me? Why? Why? But here we are. Our tastes are open, our touches are open, our hearts are open. And we are here to hear, we are here to feel her. And thank you all. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Before we move on, I know that Darren
Yes.
wanted to show a couple things.
Yes.
Did you want to say anything about this image that you asked
So
us?
this is my website. This is where I will present my book, Bring Forth What Is Within You, exploring the mysteries of Sophia, the deep Christ, and the divine spark within. In the website, I have a blog, and there's a blog post about a statement of men regarding the sacred feminine.
Great. And then also just, you've got this, tell us about your book.
No, that's Darren's.
Oh, that's the next guy.
So that's my brother's book. Do it. Darren is my brother.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Such profound wisdom. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you, my dear one. And you're always so present in my heart with the way you honor the Sophia. I just like, oh yes, this is the kind of men we want. And he's also a marriage and family therapist. So wouldn't you want help if you're going to deal with your shadow from somebody who has this level of understanding about, the deeper realms? So get a hold of Dan. Yeah, very, very powerful. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Christy.
So now we have, another voice for the sacred masculine that has been a huge supporter of mine and has been really so kind and generous with his time and his talents to help me and support me in doing many of which you can go on my website, Gospel of Mary Magdalene. You'll see all kinds of YouTube videos and whatnot that I've done. But Darren, I know you have some thoughts about the role of the sacred masculine. So take it away. And then you've got a great song that you wrote for Father Sky and Mother Earth.
Thank you so much, Christy. Well, Brother Dan, that was really beautiful. I could really feel your heart and the power you brought through. So that was wonderful. And everybody else I've been hearing. And, Karen spoke about this time we're in of this void of the moon and moving into a new phase. And Debra spoke about this choice that we all have, that humanity has right now. And I totally resonate with this, that the choice is about the masculine moving out of the suppression of the feminine, not just women, but the feminine in our own hearts. And the song I'm going to sing is my own journey. It's a song I wrote about my own journey from denying love into embracing Mother Earth and Father Sky. And what each person is speaking, we're saying words and we're showing images and videos, but it's all what I call a transmission. Like each presenter here is bringing through their unique transmission that comes from the highest divine source. And everybody who's an audience here, you have your divine transmission. So my request would be, while you're listening to this song, just open up and just say, I am bringing through my own divine transmission, which is the most powerful gift that I bring to humanity, to the earth. And it makes you an avatar, which is an incarnation of God. So this song is called Mother Earth and Father Sky. And you might be able to sing along with me on the chorus. Mother Earth and Father Sky, you bring us to a love so high. Meet me in my sacred heart, 'cause life is now a brand new start. When love is all, can't refuse the call. That's when I fall into a tiny space of creative grace. Don't know how I strayed so far from love, but now I feel the power of one shining from all I see. Love is all, can't refuse the call. That's when I fall into a tiny space of creative grace. Don't know how I strayed so far from love, but now I feel the power of one shining from all I see. Sing with me. Mother Earth and Father Sky, you bring me to a love so high. Meet me in my sacred heart, 'cause life is now a brand new start. Mother Earth and Father Sky, you bring us to a love so high. My sacred heart, 'cause life is now a brand new start.
Thank you so much, Darren. Yes. You know, there's nothing like the chants and the good old folk songs that really speak to these profound pagan truths about Mother Earth and Father Sky, and just opening to this very profound love. And I know you are an embodied master of that, and I really appreciate your work and who you are and what you're doing on the planet. Thank you so much.
I really feel the choice is truly to choose love.
Yeah.
That's what all the ascension comes down to, is choosing love in each moment as possible.
And being in a loving community, which is we are a part of, and we're so fortunate. All these people on are my friends. And the friendship really builds the trust and builds the sense of community. And that's where we can be a force to be reckoned with, a force for good, a force for change, and a greater truth. So thank you so much, Darren. I appreciate it. We're going to move on, and then I'm going to tell you, we're going to go back and tell people a little bit more about you later on. We are on now officially Goddess time. So for some of you, you're like going, wait a minute, you're supposed to end at 8, right? Well, the Goddess time is sometimes a little bit more expanded. And so what we were planning to do next, and I'm going to share my screen because I think this is such a powerful story that I want to include it. And then after this, we're going to go through the meditation and hear the beautiful song from Antoinette that she wrote called I Am Mother Spirit. But that's the journey within, because we've been listening to the outer, and you've been looking at the talking heads and all the things that are outside, but we, as part of the divine feminine, there's this deep journey within. So this next story, I don't know, Scott, come on with me. What do you think? Shall we do this story now, or shall we do it as a bonus at the end?
Why don't we do it as a bonus at the end, since we were so far behind, is my thought. Because
Okay,
it is
great.
important to be honoring people and their
Yes,
time.
I know. I appreciate that. And so just to say it real quickly, when the white buffalo calf was born, that was the sign for the American Indian culture for the return of the divine feminine from the white buffalo calf woman. And so we've got a really special bonus at the end where we can share with you about the actual woman who wrote the story, a best-selling book on the white buffalo calf story. So we'll put that at the end. And this is all being recorded, so if you can't stay on to the end, we'll be happy to send you the replay. So
I do think it's a good idea for you to do a little breath meditation right now, Christy.
yeah, that's what we're going into. Going into the meditation.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So yeah, we can take a deep breath in. I'm going to very quickly go through from the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the meditation steps of her ascension process, so that, and then we will actually do it experientially for ourselves. But basically, we're all a part of this 3D matter form, what we can taste, touch, feel with our senses. And that we think is what the world, and that's all there is of the world. But really, ascension is about getting into a higher consciousness and living from creative living energies that are actually considered above the line. They're out of the world of separation and into the world of oneness. So there's more of a feeling of acceptance and allowing, and love is the choice that we're making, and we have clarity and wisdom, and that leads to abundance, and we feel guided, and there's a response rather than a reaction, and feeling a victim and run by fear and all of that kind of stuff. So Magdalene was the embodied, elevated, higher self of form. As you heard Debra Giusti talk about, she talked about that we are now learning that we're going to embody our higher selves in form to experience walking heaven on earth. And people thought Magdalene's coming back and her, taking the world by storm recently from the Da Vinci Code and all these other things was because she had sex with Jesus. It's really because she's an ascended master. She is truly one. And there was a crop circle that was formed on July 22nd, 2004, showing all the chakra centers open. So it wasn't that 7 demons were cast out. It was really that it's called the diotema. It's the process, which was later translated in the 12th century to mean the word demon. It wasn't originally. Has to do with the opening and the expanding of the chakra centers to wholeness, wholeheartedness, to state of oneness, and feeling balanced in harmony. So this heart ascension meditation comes from what is shared in her gospel. And one of the things that's really important about this is, let me see if I can spotlight myself here, so I'm on a double thing here.
You're spotlighted.
Am I
spotlighted, and we're seeing your screen share.
Okay. So the first thing is detaching from matter, and we do it with at least 3 breaths. But one of the things to be able to detach from matter is to smell a rose. And the rose is the highest frequency. It opens the heart and moves us into a more transcendent state. And as you'll notice, commercial roses have now been removed. The scent from roses have been moved from, you have to have a garden rose or buy rose oil. Higher thoughts, conscious higher thoughts, create this fluid state. So you see the dots in here? The dots are like the particle, that's the 3D matter, but it's woven in the fabric of the field. So, and we're not separate from the field. We are totally connected to the field. And so what we're going to do is we're going to close our eyes. And the reason we have to close our eyes is because the body's eyes see only the past. And what we want to do is begin to envision heaven on earth and what that would mean to us. So what it means from the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, she says, you take inspiration from the manifestation of your true nature. So what is your true nature? Your true nature is, you remember a time when you felt loving, when you felt peaceful. That's your true nature. You are love. You are peace. These are the qualities of God that exist in you, as Dan talked about the divine spark. And you imagine this love and peace and joy now in your body and feel it in your body. So you relax your breathing and you take 6 slow, deep breaths, just taking that journey from the head to the heart, and enter the coherent heart state, and then embody a sustained feeling of fluidity now, and being present with this feeling of love. You just try to hold it for as long as you can, just feeling into the love. And then when your eyes are ready, when you are ready, you gently open your eyes, holding on to that feeling. And then you're going to watch this beautiful movie, I Am Mother Spirit. So I've asked Antoinette to share this film about it. And you will get this recording so that you can later on go back and go through the meditation and allow yourself to remember. So just start by taking a few deep breaths, closing your eyes, and just remember yourself as being in a place of love. And bringing that feeling, that time that you were so happy and you were so joyous. When you felt peaceful, you were maybe out in nature. You were having fun with your friends. Life was good, all was well. And you take the inspiration from that manifestation in your life of the love that you are. And then you embrace this divine expression of I Am Mother Spirit. Comes from the Urantia book, talking about the cosmic mother who created us all. So Scott, I'll let you put that on as we go into a moment of silence.
Did you want Antoinette to say anything in advance about this?
No, we're going to talk to her after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am your local universe mother spirit. I am the feminine divine, the universe spirit, Shekinah, Shakti, the creative mother spirit, the divine minister, and the Holy Spirit. I am the giver of the breath of life. I am omnipresent in this universe, and you actually live in me. I am a creative daughter of the infinite Mother Spirit. I am equal co-creator with your local universe creator Sun, and we have created you in our image. I am the spirit of Mother Earth and Mother Nature. I am the mystery of life, the vital energy spark, the essential factor of life plasm, to the required revolutions of matter in accordance with the physical, chemical, and electrical specifications of your world. I am the cause of purposeful organic evolution and reproduction. I source of all life on your planet, vegetable, animal, and human. I am the inherent endowment of mammalian mother love, maternal instincts, and the bestower of mind, animal and human. I am personally maternal to all my children. I love you individually. I know you personally, and I understand you completely. I am the provider of the spirit of intuition, the spirit of understanding, the spirit of courage, the spirit of knowledge, the spirit of counsel, the spirit of worship, and the spirit of wisdom. I am the Holy Spirit, and I extend to you my fostering care and spiritual ministry as I work in harmony with the spirit of truth and your indwelling spirit to lead you ultimately to the loving embrace of our Heavenly Father.
Thank you so much. We take that beautiful message from the Divine Mother to us and understand that we are the love that she is. She has given us this life to live with great joy, wonderful peace, in total health and happiness. We just but gather and come together and listen. Blessed be. Amen. I love you all. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. Scott, if you could come on with me.
Yeah, and let's start by bringing Antoinette on since we
Yes,
just
and
saw
bring Antoinette
her
on.
beautiful video.
It was fabulous, Antoinette.
I want to share a few things about Antoinette. First off, you just got a sense of her music, and she and her partner Pato create amazing music, amazing videos, and you can get more of her music by going to this website, roots.ta, that's her last name, roots.ta.bandcamp.com, and that's the website that we're on right now.
While you're there, Scott, that one that says Thoughts of Paradise,
Uh-huh.
that one is actually a meditation album.
Wow.
And, from a long time ago, I've kept saying that I wanted to do a whole Mother Spirit album, and I also want to do a meditation album. This is my first album, but this is actually a meditation album. And then when I realized checking into the different frequencies and stuff, to, reach into that kind of state that, as we're checking out the science along with the spirituality, Pato, I was doing this for Pato's Christ consciousness stuff, but people said they really loved it as a meditation album. So, if you listen to it, it's like it puts babies to sleep. It helps you to meditate and connect with your own. As I started to learn about the mother, that's what made me kind of create that song, I Am Mother Spirit, because I said, I need to start listening for the mother, because I've always just been taught about Christ and about God. And I didn't know anything about the divine feminine until some other women started to tell me. I was totally clueless, so this journey just kind of like took me on this journey to learn about the feminine divine and what she was trying to tell us. And that's why it's very special to actually learn about this whole time of the awakening and the ascension, because I think it's probably happening to me.
While you were talking, I just purchased your album.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I got to put in my security code.
Oh, don't look, anybody.
So let's all follow. I'm kind of staying a little established here. Let's go in and let's support our musical artists. It's so important to do that. And she has it set up so suggestion is $10, but you can put in your own price. It's one of the things that I like about the way that it's set up. Now, one of the things also about Antoinette, we're going to talk about Antoinette for a couple minutes here because she does a lot. And I've actually done entire shows about your Stand Up for Justice program because it's so important. Antoinette, can you please tell us about that?
Well, Stand Up for Justice, as you guys know, after the George Floyd incidents and everything that had happened, I've always been into social activism and for a long time and through music and through different work. But I noticed there was a real huge shift and change throughout the world where everybody started to notice and pay attention. And I would talk all the time but it was crickets. Nobody ever wanted to talk about social justice. And then all of a sudden, everybody wanted to talk about social justice. Everybody wanted to have me on their show. Everybody wanted to interview me. I was like, whoa, nobody ever wanted to ask me anything about this stuff before. So I decided to utilize it. And I was because I was in all the groups anyway, doing my normal thing, started getting involved with the Wall of Moms. That turned into a whole other thing, which led to me starting my own nonprofit organization called Stand Up for Justice. And so I formed that last year, officially in the state of California. We've done like a few different events. We've done Juneteenth, largest down here in Lake Elsinore. We've also done the Martin Luther King Day. We did Martin Luther King Day in San Diego at the World Beat Center again. And it's still part of the 40 days of service. So if you've been watching the Global Peace Tribe, you know that we're still in the 40 days of MLK Day service. So we're still collecting like blankets, food, clothing, the works. There's a lot of Haitian refugees that are there at the border at Tijuana. And there's a mother and daughter team that are kind of going out there every single day, feeding and taking care of these refugees who cannot get across. They weren't sent back to Haiti. And you know how far that is to go. Anyway, so we're still trying to do that. And so in 2 weeks, Pato and I are going to go down with whatever belongings we have, plus everybody else who's been contributing. So if you go onto the Stand Up for Justice website, and then you just click on events, and then you'll see the Haitian thing, and then you'll see all the information there.
Wonderful.
And if people want to sit there and send something or donate something there or whatever, like if you can't, oh, no, not that one. Go to events on the top. Go to events on the top. Yeah. And then just click on that where it looks dark. It looks weird. Just click on it. Yeah, right there. Just click anywhere. I'll go up a little bit. Yeah. Just where it says January 17th. Yeah. No, just click down there, right underneath where it says right there. Yeah, that's it. Click right there where it's dark. Yeah, click. Yeah, there you go. And then click on the picture where it says Haitian. Click on that picture. There we go. So there's all the information. There's the PayPal site, what's happening there at the event. If you donate there on the PayPal, 100% goes. That's where we're going to go and buy the other things that they might need, like rice, types of food that they like to eat, whatever the woman says they need. A lot of times people sit there and just donate things, but it's always good to sit there and ask, what is it that you actually do need?
Right.
I'll go to Costco. I know it's like if we need feminine products or whatever, we'll get them. We'll go drop them off, and we'll have a big party down there at the World Beat Center in San Diego.
Wonderful.
One last website that's very important and the most important, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've known Antoinette for a couple of years now. We've done lots of shows together, raising consciousness. But a few months ago, Antoinette got a big personal piece of information and news, and I'll let her talk about it. But while she's talking about it, I really want us to support her healing journey. Because she is on a very important healing journey right now. And I'm sure, especially because it's mostly women that we're talking about, I think most women can relate to either having had the experience or the concern, or they know somebody, or you wonder if you're going to deal with the big C. And so, Antoinette, I love you so much. And I want to make sure you are healthy and with us for a very long time, because we need you. So tell us about what's going on with your healing journey.
So this is the craziest thing. I went Facebook Live Saturday because I've been having these urges. I was like, something was telling me in it. And this is the thing that I said, why Debra, I was like, everything that she started mentioning, I was like, was speaking to me exactly. I was like, oh my God, I went through that and I went through that and I went through that too. So this was the messages that I started hearing in different kinds of areas. One was I decided I was not going to take chemo, surgery, or radiation after like looking around and finding out. And then I felt like this journey was like a spiritual awakening. I said, there's something, this is not a personal journey of me fighting a disease. This is something that is happening to everybody. And when it came down to it, it boiled down to our health. You know, the same thing, you know, with the grounding, you know. So some of the things that I started to do was, you know, was like, I started to change my diet. You know, I was like, because they tell you, you know, you got to change your diet. You got to cut out this, cut out that, got to build up the healthy cells, got to, you know, do all the different things. So I started to change the diet and I started to do the detoxing. They said detox, you know, this is all the scientific things, but also the scientific things was leading to spiritual type things. I've always heard that if you start detoxing, you start meditating more and you start praying more and you start seeing things a lot clearer. Now, I just assume I was just going crazy because I'm detoxing, I'm losing a lot of weight, I'm thinking about dying or whatever. But the things I was thinking about was really different about was like health and nutrition. Like once somebody said something about exercise, that changed my whole regimen, because I was like, all right, I'm not going to just take something and then curl up in here and just like, you know, it's going to fix it and I'm going to get better or something. I'm like, I got to do something else. You know, so they said, if you got to move, you got to do some kind of movement, you have to exercise, you have to eat something with life, you have to eat things that are non-genetically modified, you know, you have to, you know, no Monsanto, you know, the fresher, the better. And I started reading all the labels, you know, and I started reading everything and I started learning about juicing and growing. And while all this was happening, so the other website, it wasn't even that site, is the Adentia site. That's the one you need to pull up. While this was happening, this news of my journey, Pato and I had other news of the land that we have been working on for 10 years of building our eco village and spiritual retreat. And not only did our land actually come through, but some miracle happened that we're actually getting more land now. So now here I am out there gardening and walking. It's like the only way I'm going to get organic is if I grow my own. So all this GoFundMe, besides the medical stuff I'm testing out in the hospitals, was also to invest into how do we make all get healthy? You know, like that documentary, Kiss the Ground. So the same messages Debra was sitting there saying, you know, everybody can compost. Everybody could put a fruit tree in their backyard. Everybody could sit there and just reduce a little bit of something, you know, to sit there and increase their health. Yeah. So this is our dream. And I'm like, we're going to feed our community. This is what I did. So Scott, that money you sent me, that 222, I went and bought 10 fruit trees. I got some oranges. I got some lemon trees. You'll see the video. I just been working. It's just, but I spaced my time out. So I'm like, I walk around, I garden, I study, I research, I get grounded, I relax, I detox, you know, all these different things. And if that is me losing my mind and doing whatever, then this is what I call living.
Yeah.
What I call living. And if all the people knew what I knew, how many other people would be alive too?
Yeah.
If they just did one little thing, you know.
Yeah, it's a powerful message of health and wellness, and you are such a heart-centered example of it. And
so Heather and Donny, I want to see what you guys got going on over there.
Yeah,
and then you guys come over here, and then Debra, if she comes back and looks at this, come and do some of Ascension over here on Adentia, because you know, actually, if you look on the website, Christine, it says Adentia is called Creating Heaven on Earth.
That's right.
That's the place. This is where people can come eat. They can come get organic food. They can come get well. They can come learn. They can get grounded with spirituality. The things that you guys were all talking about, this has all been happening since the last month.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is fabulous. Yeah. Wonderful vision that you have. And can't wait to come and plant some trees myself.
Great work. Great work.
Yeah. And Heather and Donny's retreat is so nurturing. She's a tremendous vegan chef.
Yeah, and we have coconuts and pineapples and papayas
That's
and
what I
all
need
kinds
to
of
know.
fruits and vegetables going on
I
here.
did not
So.
realize that my diet was the right diet. You know,
Yeah.
and all this time they were going back to ancient medicine. They call it ancient medicine like ancient aliens, when they were just going back to indigenous ways and food and balance and nature and everything the Mother Spirit was telling us, but I wasn't listening. And so she had to get very loud, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone can see what a tremendous opportunity there is for us to expand this vision. Thank you, Heather. and and to continue this work. So support this work, support the musicians so that they can, because it's really through the music and the song that our PTSD gets healed. Let's see, Scott, I have to, can you spotlight me here for a second?
You are spotlighted. You're
okay. It doesn't show on my thing. So I just wanted to share that we have other things that are coming up on 2/22/22. We're going to do Time for Enlightened Partnership, a deeper conversation with couples who are really exploring how to be, in a enlightened partnership. And of course, Scott, you might want to talk about the work that you're doing with the Love Coach Academy and the fabulous work helping couples and whatnot that you do, and share your website.
Well, actually, you know what? If I'm going to share anything, I'd like to direct people to next weekend in the Awakening World.
Oh, great.
Because this is really where most of my attention is going now. While Debra's on hiatus and doing all sorts of wonderful things, I'm still doing 3 shows every weekend, and I'm really proud of that. And it turns out you're asking about relationships. And what we do is we take a topic and we tackle it every weekend. With the 3 shows that I've been doing, Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday mornings. And it's all under the banner of the Awakening World. We did a wonderful weekend on Martin Luther King weekend that Antoinette and Pato were a big part of that. And next weekend, it's all about relationships. We're collaborating with a company called Relationflix. They are the Netflix of relationships. That's what they call it, Relationflix. Brand new company. The fellow who started it has been one of my students for years. And so we're bringing on all of his teachers that are also part of Love Coach Academy. And so you're going to get several different generations of teachers about relationship. And that's coming up this weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. And just want to encourage everybody, if you've not registered yet, please go to globalpeacetribe.com and register. And you get the links to all 3 of our shows for 3 months, taking us all the way through till April. So the shows are great. We have this particular weekend coming up. We don't have any big famous people necessarily, but we have amazing teachers. And you're going to meet several different generations of relationship teachers. So I think that's really what I'd love to promote, is encouraging people to come to the Awakening World.
And when you sign up with the globalpeacetribe.com, there's amazing videos archived, so you can get a chance to see some of the shows you might have missed. Very important work, Scott, that you and both Debra and you have been doing with creating this platform. It's really awesome. So can we go to gallery view with everybody, and then we have a bonus with I saw Jan Kaplan had come on, and so we want to show bring in the American Indian Indigenous story about the landing and the presencing of the divine feminine. So. Hi, Jan. Thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Oh, thank you. What a beautiful, beautiful presentation tonight. Everybody was exquisite and just really warms my heart. So
yeah,
everybody.
Lots of great information too.
Yeah.
Really. And you have a wonderful story with Brook Medicine Eagle Woman. So I think
Right. Well, on the video I do introduce her, but she's an exceptional teacher, writer. I do kind of say all of that in my video intro. So you may want to just share that with everybody. But
yeah,
she's very knowledgeable in terms of the story.
You're making some kind of noise.
Oh gosh, sorry. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
went over mine.
So we'll just go ahead and play this video.
Yeah, go ahead and play the video, and thank you all for coming, and thank everybody, and then we'll be on gallery view at the end where everybody can unmute and say goodnight.
Thanks so much, Christy, and it's truly an honor today to welcome Brook Medicine Eagle. And Brook has been working for many years and working on the rise of the divine feminine and all the work that she does. But she's a legendary Indigenous earth keeper, wisdom teacher, mentor, visionary singer-songwriter, and shamanic practitioner, and sacred ecologist. She's the best-selling author of Buffalo Woman, Come Singing, and The Last Ghost Dance. And she belongs to the Crow Nation and has lineage from several tribal groups, as well as Scott and Irish. So as a sacred ecologist, Brook has a focused interest in promoting a conscious and sensuous relationship to all of life, living a harmonious and sustaining lifestyle. So to talk today about Buffalo Calf Woman and share with us her amazing and beautiful medicine, here is the legendary Brook Medicine Eagle.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate being here, and especially in this time of the arising feminine. It's an honor to be working with you and sharing with all of you out in the audience. I'm really so thrilled to be with you and thrilled that we're in this enterprise together of making an incredibly powerful and beautiful difference on the earth. So I want to take you back now. It's a long, long time ago. And it was a time when the Lakota people still lived back in the Great Plains. Excuse me, they lived back in the Great Forests, further from the Great Plains. And they came out onto the Great Plains in the summertime to hunt for the buffalo. And this time was a time when there were very few buffalo and the people were having very much trouble. And so a camp, about 24 people, a head man and his family group, came out onto those plains to look for buffalo. They always had with them two very strong, powerful young men who could be protective and also help provide and hunt and all of that. And so as the women set up the camp on something I think of as a beautiful willow-lined little stream, these two men went up on a high ridge to look around. They had two reasons for that. They were going to look around for buffalo, and also to see if there were any enemy or anyone out there that they needed to worry about. When they were looking around, they looked in the distance and they saw a figure moving, a single something moving, which was very unusual. Nothing was alone out there very much. But as this drew closer and this being drew closer and closer, they realized this wasn't an animal. This was a person all alone out there. And then as they watched, it made them kind of nervous. It was very unusual. As they watched, this person came closer and closer, and stepping up on a high ridge where the grass wasn't so high, they saw not only is it a person, it's a woman by herself. And they kept watching her. And as she drew closer, they could see that she had an aura of light around her. And she moved with grace and ease. And as she came close to them, they saw, not only is this a woman, this is an incredibly radiant, beautiful woman. And there were two kinds of men on the hill that day. One said, aha, well, she's mighty good looking and she's alone. And he walked toward her with lust in his heart. And he represents that part in all of us that is, in a sense, greedy and lustful, that takes and wants for ourselves. So he came to her, she opened her robes and drew him in. A mist swirled around them, and the other young man stood mystified, knowing this was an amazing, powerful experience. And when she opened her robes, the skull and bones of that man fell out and the wind blew them across the prairie. Well, it must have been an incredible shock, but he was a different kind of man. He saw power and beauty, and he knew that this was a woman of spirit. So he said, he walked up trembling, I'm sure, and said, oh, beautiful and powerful woman, come, please come to be with my people and teach us. And she said, go before me and make a place, and I will come. And so he represented that part of us that, and certainly of men, that is the true warrior who has all of the masculine capabilities, but also has the heart where he says, I do this not just for myself, but for all the people, all my relations. A true warrior, a true man. And so then she came down once they had formed a place, she came down to be with them. She walked in, they were sitting dressed, and I'm sure just their hearts beating intensely when she came in. And she came in with radiance and love and exquisite beauty. And she laid down a pack that she had, and she brought out of it and put together a sacred pipe, what we now call the chanupa. This pipe, this red catlinite bowl, represents the great mother's womb, and everything in the universe is contained here. Out of the great mother's womb, everything was birthed, and everything is honored here. So from the tiniest microbe to the largest stars, everything is represented here. And this masculine part represents what wind is drawn through and the smoke sent up to Creator. So this is a statement about unity and wholeness. Her message that she brought is a message of incredible wholeness, of that we are one family. She says to us, whatever you do to any other being in the whole realm of life, you do to yourself, because you are one being. And so she brought 7 sacred rites to the people. And you can read about those in Black Elk and other places. But the one I want to emphasize today, as we talk about the arising feminine, I want to emphasize the one that was about the menarche rites, the moontime rites, when a woman comes into her bleeding time and a girl becomes a woman. And she emphasized this so powerfully, that the feminine is the baseline of life, of nurturing and renewing life. It's about the wholeness. A mother holds everything in her arms. The great mother holds and blesses and honors everything. And as she brings this message, it's a message that's incredibly poignant for us in this time that we have today, in this critical time on Earth. And so what she said at the very end, when she left the people, she rolled and became a black buffalo, rolled and became a red buffalo, rolled and became a yellow buffalo, rolled again and stood up as a white buffalo calf, and ran off and disappeared. But before she left, she said, I will come to you again. Hold this sacred pipe, and I will come to you at the end of time. And so she has come back to us. In 1994, the first white buffalo calf was born, and many more since then. And so she has come back to us in that sense, come back bringing the message that the Great Mother's family and holding respect and honoring, living in harmony, Our challenge on earth today is that we have forgot that feminine love, that caring, that respect, that honoring of each and every single human being and every other one of our relations on earth. So she has come back. And it's interesting that she came in 1994, right at the time when the primary elders of primary traditions, the men elders, handed the wands of power to the females and said, now is the time of the feminine. Now is your time. And so for the feminine within men and women, because we all carry it, as I spoke about the true warrior, that man carried the feminine just like in the most beautiful way that anyone could. And so that feminine rising in each of us is what is the key to making a difference on this earth. And I hear her voice singing through many of us in many different ways. She's bringing the message of the Great Mother and the Great Mother's beauty to us. And I'd love to share more with you over time about this stunning, exquisite teaching and the possibilities it brings to us. And I'd like to sing a song for you. I'm going to grab my drum here. I'd like to sing a song for you that came to me that I feel is for all of us right now as we walk forward on the earth. Buffalo woman is calling, will you answer her? Buffalo woman is calling, will you answer her? She's calling light, she's calling peace, she's calling spirit, she's calling you. Buffalo woman is calling, will you answer her? Yes, Buffalo woman is calling, will you answer her? Buffalo woman is calling, will you answer her? She's calling light, she's calling peace, she's calling spirit, she's calling you. Buffalo woman is calling, and we must answer her. So I thank you very much. I'm honored to be with you. I hope to see you again in many different ways so we can share this understanding and walk forward in a good way to make a difference on this sweet earth so we humans can stay here with all of our relations. And so thank you very much. Be well, get busy, live in harmony, practice, honor all your relations. Ho mitakoyasin, all my relations.
Thank you so much. Wow. That, we've heard the call now. And Scott, if we can go to gallery view with everybody, I just want to thank everyone for all your contributions and your joining, collaborating, and understanding about Goddess time and technology. We have some bonus gifts for you. Debra Giusti has her tips of ascension. And the meditation that I do, I will be making it into a single meditation from the Gospel of Mary Magdalene with music, and I'll be sending that out to you later. And Darren, thank you. Our Sacred Masculine, Dan, and Donny, and Scott. Scott, I appreciate you so much holding up the fort, and Galia Magdalena, and everyone. Heather, you've all been awesome. Karen, the Puma. All been awesome. I'm so glad you're my friends and a part of this community. Blessed be.
Christy, there's a couple of things we didn't get a chance to promote that I just wanted to.
Yeah, please do.
We didn't get a chance to take a look at Aimée's website.
Aimée.
Sent to us. So this is her name, Aimée, spelled A-I-M-E-E, Lyndon-Adams. And that's where you can find out all about her. And I know a lot of people were very impressed with what she had to share. And I do want to show Darren's book. And I apologize, Darren, for getting you confused with Dan there for a minute. But Darren, you're still with us. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Thank you very much for asking that. Debra mentioned, or somebody earlier mentioned about the word avatar. And this book is a practical roadmap for everybody claiming their own self as an incarnation of God with superpowers that can literally change the world, and how when we come together, we are the second coming of the Christ. So it's a practical manual to actually how you do that, not just speak about it philosophically. So thank you for putting up that slide. And on this website, drstarwynn.com, I actually have a whole free audio and visual course that goes with the book.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for that's a beautiful book that you've written. So thank you. And let's definitely not forget Christy's website. Let's take a look at that now. And Christy, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Gospel of Mary Magdalene website?
Yes, thank you. I do. Yeah. Well, you know, we're building a community, and we have sacred ceremonies that are going on all the time. And we're now moving into a thing we're calling Healing America, dealing with various healings. We're going to have an offering in February at the end of the month on Black History Month. So please go to my website and subscribe, and you'll be able to get the information on upcoming rituals and ceremonies that we do. I think you see, we were overwhelmed. You know, we only get to do the Divine Feminine once a year. So I'm sorry, we pack it full, and maybe we need to do more frequently, so less stuff. But everything was so profound and so rich and so beautiful. So I thank you for your honoring this and your willingness to come to something that we don't have in this world. We don't have the honoring of the birth and the rise of the Divine Feminine. Thank you.
And again, it's gospelofmarymagdalene.info. Gospelofmarymagdalene.info is that particular website. And since Donny and Heather are still with us and they kind of got cut off, let's take one more look at their website, which is the blackswantemple.org. blackswantemple.org. And Donny and Heather, when other people were talking, there's a really bad echo. You got to mute. And then when you talk, it's okay. But when I'm talking, there's a bad echo.
Okay.
Yes.
How is it now?
It's been like that the whole time. Still happening.
Okay.
But go to blackswantemple.org and register so that you can get on their email list. And there's really beautiful things. And again, they offer sound healing, travel, the mystery school, and definitely make sure you watch their film. It's a beautiful, beautiful film.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Blessings to you all. So mote it be. We'll see you the next round. Every year on the 31st, we always do this special honoring. So, and Debra, Giusti, I'm so grateful to you for all your support and help. This as well. Thank you.
Yes.
Blessed be.
Thank you, Christy, for doing that. And Scott and Ben.
Yeah.
Good night,
And
everybody.
Thank you.
good night, everybody.
Everyone.
So much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Hey, you can unmute and say bye.
Thank you, Deborah.
Woohoo, blessings.
Love you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.